Take a look at this picture. I'm getting ready to show you right now of this reawakening event that's getting ready to happen in a couple of days. Look closely at the picture. You're going to see a whole lot of people you are familiar with. I'm going to put the picture in the community tab so you can stop it and be able to study it well. And I'm getting ready to show you a clip of our buddy, I almost said Tin Man, forgive me, Lord, Hank Kunneman, and we're going to talk.
And then the word of the Lord came that night. 46 does not exist. How many know I've been saying it? Now, you can say whatever you want, but that's the facts. Now, let's go back to January 6th. God said, stay with the story. Stay with the story. So let's go back and look at the story. Let's pick up slide 1. This was July 1st of 2007. Remember the story, 9/11. I'm going to raise up from New York. And there's other prophecies that were prophesied earlier as well that kept talking about this mystery, But this one we found was probably the most in your face. I mean, we could show you other prophecies and make this a 3-hour deal, truthfully. But we tried to get as much of the ones that will help you to understand if you are evangelical and you are calling people standing for God and country a Christian nationalist. If you are not sure about voting for President Trump and you think that DeSantis is the guy at this time, you're not hearing what God has been saying. And the reason that I'm saying this tonight is there is a vindication that God wants because of the nonsense that's going on.
And as you can see, it's when you're trying to make videos, you think you're going one way, you're going to go this other way, and here comes something out of left field. Here he is. If you don't vote for Trump, it's not DeSantis right now. It's the time because Trump's basically going to get everything in order. Well, you know what? I've got my order right here, and I've got the notes because we're going to talk because I need to go through this really quickly, and I'm going to share something on the end how I think that we can counter some of this stuff that's been going on. But I have here in my notes, talking about this reawakening tour. Look right here at this picture. This thing is, by the time I've made this message, it's probably sold out. But it's showing that it's sold out. And all of the other ones that they've had have been sold out. People going by the thousands to these events with all of them people that you see on there. False prophets galore. False so-called patriots. So-called people that claim they love America. All of this stuff on that picture that you see. And I have that on here. And guess where it's at? If you didn't catch it in the detail, where is the event's going to be held? The event is going to be held in Doral, Trump's place, there in Miami, Florida. And here we have these folks that continue to rally around someone that supposedly is going to set the world order, set everything and set everybody straight, when his life is not even straight. When they try to profess and claim that he's a Christian and all of this stuff, and I'm going to call it like it is, there's no evidence that Trump is a Christian. And I said it. That's right. I said it. No evidence at all that he's a Christian. And I have on here, I had some proof more proof of why he wouldn't be. There's no evidence of him a Christian, and why giving him a second term will be super dangerous. And this is just some of the examples. I know we want to get things straight in society. I know the crime. I know what they're calling the left agenda and all of this other stuff. It's so disheartening. I know. I can relate. But you know one thing, I'm not going to jeopardize, compromise my morals, my integrity, and all of these things and get on the side with these people that you see in the picture. The Greg Locke, he's in there. The crazy lady, the doctor, that was, I can't even pronounce the lady's name. And we've talked about a lot of these people. I mean, Eric Trump, all of these people are in there that's supposed to be doing some types of prayers and speakers and all of this stuff to uplift and take America back. Really? Is that really going to happen with these folks? Do you think the Lord is going to hear their prayers? And I have on here proof of why. There's no evidence that Trump is a Christian at all, period. A second presidency will cause more chaos. You think, look at the chaos. You have people say, well, it's chaotic right now. You know what? I've had discussions with several people during this time. I'm just going to be real. We've had discussions. Now, it was, we've had each presidencies and everything. It's been crazy with certain things and certain things. But you know what? A whole lot of people came out from under the rock under Trump's presidency because he gave a green light to Proud Boys and all of these types of groups that got the signal that it's okay to come out and spread hate, spread division, do all of these things. It's okay. And now it's on this level of it's okay that we can try to overthrow the government and instill a dictator in place and take over everything. That's where we are. And that chaos is not over with. These people are not done with it. They're out there, 75% of them, showing that they will still support this man. And it says, and as I go back to the January the 6th type thing where, they want the Civil War. They literally do. And I just say, if it's that bad for these folks, won't you go ahead. No one's telling you to stay here. Go ahead, find a place somewhere. Get out of America. Go somewhere. Pack your stuff up. I told you before, there's islands that are available to purchase. I'm sure millions of these folks can go buy, allow Trump to be the leader and let them be. It's like a Jim Jones type thing. And he can, take you and lead you to whatever promised land that you think you're going. And I have on here, here's the thing. More evidence that the man's not no Christian. He seeks revenge. What does the Bible tell us about loving our enemies and allowing him? The battle's not his, but the Lord's, and us to get out of the way against our enemies and allow him. And he tell us don't basically praise when God is got his hand upon his enemies and dealing with them, and you praising them because God said that he will see that and will remove that judgment and punishment that he's bringing upon somebody. But you know what? They love the talk of the death angel. They love all of the crazy stuff. They want harm to come to people. And this is the thing. Trump sets back and he allows it and loves it and relishes in this types of stuff. And seeking revenge on all of those people that betrayed him. And this is his mindset. You think that he's going to come in and be friends with people and try to cross the aisle and make peace in society? No, he's on a mission. He wants revenge. He's angry, and he's going to do that. And there's no Christ-like characteristics within him on anything. And I have on here, here's the other one. The same man that wants to stir up a civil war in society and all of that, he's already said it. He's going to pardon the people from the January the 6th. So these people that are in prison, anyone's got charges, they're going to get pardoned. He's going to pardon these people. Christ-like, huh? Christian, huh? Standing up for believers, huh? As a Christian, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. If you stand by a man like that, and this Hank Kunneman, and it's somebody that sits there in his church, sits there all the time bringing up fake prophecies and act like he's a prophet and all of this stuff. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Going to a church like that, listening to preachers like that, false preachers like that, and all of that, and you need to repent. And finally, there's so many, I can't jot it all down, but he would allow Ukraine, that's going to happen, that he's going to allow Russia to overrun them, buddy up with his buddy Putin, and Putin off he go. And here we go. We'll be in a whole nother stratosphere on the war level with everything. They think this is bad with everything that's going on right now. It'll be chaos. The Lord is not part of chaos. The Lord, and this is the thing. For these people think that you're going to come in and that we've got to have this man, basically is what they want, is a strict disciplinarian, authoritative person that can just I mean, whip, like I always say, whip people into shape. That's all they want. They think that he's the man to do it. DeSantis, and we're going to talk about DeSantis. That's going to be in another video. We'll talk about him. I ain't forgetting about him. And he wants to whip these people into shape. But, the bottom line is, I know some of you in the comments, what do you think we can do to fix things in society? I watched a preacher the other day talking about how, he's not giving up hope. He believes that it takes a village to raise up and continue the society and the youth and all of them. He's not giving up and all of that. But, it made me think. And I'm going to get to this, and hopefully I can get through these points. I don't want this video to be too long. But in conclusion, I thought of Matthew 5:16, where Jesus is talking about, let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Let your light shine. And I thought that's the key. I said it in some videos, but that is really the key as Christians. Let your light shine, so that you can glorify the Lord. These folks, these Eric Trumps and all of these people at this event, are they glorifying the Lord? No. They've been lying on the Lord. That's the problem. They're lying on him, and then they're using him, trying to use him. And you think the Lord is hearing their cries, their prayers, all of this stuff, and you think the Lord ain't getting, the Lord is angry. He's angry. And that right there would be a Philistine-style Colosseum event. Basically, is what it is. These folks are nothing but a laughing stock, is what they are. And anybody that goes there, I'm telling you, you are walking with the devil himself. As you walk into one of these events, hanging out with these types of people and supporting this stuff. And I have on here I found there's several ways as I close out this video, as we talk about letting our light shine. There's so much on that. If you got some great examples of how we can let our light shine as Christians, put it in there. I'm going to go through these. This was from a writer that I found online where she wrote, you offer examples of letting your light shine. You offer hope when there's none, when there is none. You offer encouragement when it's needed most. Just think of that. Now think of these folks, these Trump crowd and Christian nationalist people. Think of that. Do they offer all that? Think of that. You offer kindness. Despite being surrounded by hate, you offer compassion in a world that cares about the bottom line. What's the bottom line? Moolah. I talk about money and everything else, power, fame, and all of that. But you offer kindness. Do these people offer kindness? No. They offer hate, death, doom, gloom is what they offer. You offer patience when you're met with impatience. You offer to pick up another, dust them off, give them a hand so they can regain their light and glow. Do they care? Some people, folks have backslidden. Some of these people, you got to continue to help them out. You don't help them out by thinking that you're going to be this dictator over their lives and that you're going to shackle them up with chains and make them do as you say. And then, finally, you offer Jesus. That's the most important thing ever. You offer Jesus. What do these false prophets and people offer? They never offer Jesus. They stand up there, they get their little notes out, offer up all of this stuff and make excuses for all of their false prophecies and all that crap that goes on. It says you offer Jesus, your words, your thoughts, your prayers, your actions are salted with Jesus. And it's shown through the mega lights of your soul. Do people see Jesus when they look at you? Do they see the example of Jesus? The example of Jesus. Do they see him? Do they see that light shining within you? Do people look at you and say, there's something different about him or her? Their spirit. They have a calm spirit. They're able to, I feel like I'm drawn to them. To want to talk to them about maybe something personal that's going on in my life, or I heard that you love the Lord. I can see something. There's a glow in you. There's something. Look, think of all of these false teachers that you see. Think about them. They look worn out. A lot of them, they look worn out. They're being beat up. You know why? Because they don't have no peace. They don't have any peace. They're beat up. The devil is whipping them. He's giving them a good old spanking. They're worn out. They're tired. Their lies have caught up with them and all of that. But people, what do they see when they see you? Do they see that light shining? Do they see the love of Christ? Do they see the example that the Lord told us that he wants us to be? Do they see that? Because I'm going to tell you, these folks, the Eric Trump, all of these people, these fake preachers, pastors, all of them, you don't see none of that with them. None of it. All they preach is hate. All they preach is nationalism. All they preach is the flag. All they preach is wanting to take over this nation and other nations, and then have it their way and try to tell you nationalism is okay. Well, you know what? Nationalism is not okay. Nationalism is not of Jesus Christ. Nationalism is not what Jesus ran around and preached. Nationalism has no business being taught anywhere, preached anywhere, and any preacher that stands in a pulpit preaching it need to have their status revoked. They need to be, I'm telling you, these folks need to be called out, and the Lord is going to deal with them in due time. We know the Lord is not going to allow his name to be continuously dragged through the mud and people sit there thinking that they're going to get away with it. Well, you know what? We're going to continue to pray for you. And I'm going to pray for those people that go to these events. Pray for people that's listening to channels that they shouldn't be listening to. And we're going to continue to call it out. Continue to talk about issues the church run away from. What else? Punch Satan right in between them chops. Evangelism for God is the channel. If you're new, consider subscribing. Hit like, coming along for the journey. My name is Maurice Braxton. Until the next video, my friends, take care. God bless.